Got the wrong man. So this is about a black corrections officer. And you would think that something like this wouldn't happen, but yes, he was falsely accused of stealing in an Atlanta Walmart, and he files a lawsuit. And he says that he remained detained despite offering proof of his innocence. So this is really a twist right here. Because normally you hear of just regular, people who are just regular citizen people who are not a part of law enforcement being racially profiled, but not law enforcement themselves. So this is by Nicole Duncan Smith. January the 27th, on a Thursday, a black shopper is suing Walmart after allegedly being racially profiled in one of their stores in the metro Atlanta area. So the local corrections officer says that he was handcuffed, he was isolated, wrongfully accused of shoplifting, and now he is counseling to cope. He's in counseling, so with the trauma from the event. Can you imagine? Law enforcement, he's a corrections officer and he's in counseling because of being racially profiled. ABC News reports David Connors, a Clayton County corrections officer, says that he was in the home decor section of Walmart in Atlanta Suburb area of Fayette County when he was accused of Fayetteville by a Fayetteville Police Department officer of being a serial shoplifter. So this is not a one-time deal here. They accused him of being a serial shoplifter as if they saw him and they were watching and surveillancing him as if he had done this before. So Connors is now suing for the act of profiling and filed a false imprisonment complaint against Jane Doe, of course, in the lawsuit. The insider reported, so I guess they didn't want to reveal the person's name for confidentiality purposes. So his lawyer, Terrence Naden, said that he's just in the store minding his own business when he was approached by the police. And everything went downhill from there. So employees from the Walmart store had pointed out the masked Connors to the cops, who accused him of being a man with the last name called Wright, who supposedly had previously lifted from the store before some items, electronics section he was in. According to the lawsuit, after being accused, he identified himself as a local corrections officer and provided the detainee officers 2 pieces of identification, including showing his Clayton County work ID. Still, he was detained and placed in a holding area. So he told officers in a video obtained by WSB-TV, "I ain't never shoplifted a day in my life, and you got the wrong man." So after Connors was shown security surveillance video of Wright, the actual person who was stealing, he told them to look closer. "That is not me." He directed them to his tattoos, arguing that he is not the same man, but that was not enough for them to let him go. They still held him, so the officers believed Connors and the presumed shoplifter had a similar build, and both wore masks. So Connor's suit claims that he was held until the officers FaceTimed another person familiar with the previous thefts to confirm that they had pulled the wrong person. So here's a still photo right here. And it says Walmart loss prevention photo of man accused of stealing that is not David Connors. Okay? And so since this incident, the man states that he has not received an apology from the corporation or the individual that misidentified him and called the police he hadn't received any, sorry, we had the wrong person, can we make it up to you, and so on. So further, he says that he has started therapy because he was traumatized by the incident being held. He could have went to jail for something he didn't do. So he needs therapy to assist him in coping with the trauma he experienced after being racially profiled. So he was also worried about his job, telling WSB, I could have lost my Georgia uh, post over this situation. So a work-related takeaway for Connors, according to Madden, is how the incident has informed his personal and professional life. Okay, so it says making him more conscious of the various dynamics of racial profiling by law enforcement and the public. Connor said, I really start thinking about a lot of things more now. I never racially profiled. So you see it all the time, but you never believe it's going to happen to you until it has happened to you. That it says. So it became personal, and a violation is something you can't help to think about or and over again when it happens to you. So Randy Hargrove, the Walmart spokesperson, gave a very brief remark about the company's position being careful not to address the incident directly, but we don't tolerate discrimination. This is what they go through when they try to explain themselves, of course. But it says they don't tolerate discrimination of any kind and take allegations like this seriously. So we are not going to comment further on the pending litigation. So more news from our partners. So that's pretty much the article. It's just sad because we have come in a time where even law enforcement, if they're a person of color, you could be racially profiled. And this proves this right here. He was looked at as the suspect or the person they suspected in this still photo here. If you look at him, it's kind of blurry from here, but I'm sure that they saw a clearer version, but they profiled him. And so that's a good example right there. Wow. He has to, law enforcement, black corrections officer, has to receive counseling for being traumatized by being racially profiled.